Greetings from your queen of Ooga Booga, that is. Hi, everybody. It's Sally Diane. A few minutes late. We've just got a huge windstorm happening here, and about 2 hours ago, the wind blew a transformer down a few blocks from me and knocked down a branch and started a little fire in the street and knocked out the power to myself and many of my neighbors. But the power came back on a little while ago, and we have just, as fast as we could, we got set up for you guys, and we're so happy to be here now with light, with power, and we're so happy to see you guys here. Before we get started, I'd just like to make an announcement. Our Ghosts of the Queens event was so popular this time around that we are actually going to schedule another one for the spring. If you're interested in attending the Ghosts of the Queens event in Stratford, just send an email to thequeenofoogaBooga@gmail.com. And speaking of sending me emails, I still need a couple of more palm pictures in order to make a palm reading video. What you need to do if you want a free palm reading from your queen, Sally Diane, just send me a picture of your left hand and your right hand. Make sure that I get to see the whole of your fingers, the whole of your thumb, and a little bit of the heel of your hand. And have your hand relaxed so I can see all the lines. You know, because if you go like this, I'm not going to see all your lines and all your mounds. So just about like that, both of them. And it would be nice if you included your birthday, but you don't have to. And send that to thequeenofoogaBooga@gmail.com. And when we do the video, we will send you an email to let you know that it's up. And thank you very much. So who do we have here?
Hi, Sonia. How are you doing today?
Oh, hi, Sonia.
I'm sorry if I was rude to you last week. I had a hard time keeping up with everybody, and I wasn't actually aware of the content of your reading at all, which it confused me. Then that's what happened. I apologize for that.
Okay, Sonia, would you like to ask a question?
Yes.
You can be my first reading.
Do you see my finances improving? Any money coming my way?
You always have to you always have to be careful with money, because if you get the money worry about you, that chases away money. So make sure you're nice and relaxed. Okay, but money and Sonia. Oh, please let it get better. I know a lot of us feel that way. So the first card. All right. Okay. So you've got the Three of Coins. It's reversed, but still coins. It just means that you might not. You've got the Three of Coins. It's reversed, but still coins. Okay. Sorry, we're getting some feedback here. All right. This makes more sense. You've got Three of Coins, and even though it's reversed, it's still coins. So it's still about money. And so it says that money's coming in, but it's not coming in fast enough. So that's being recognized. There's also a suggestion that you might be able to do something, and maybe offer to work a few more hours. It just feels like there's a little something there where you can maybe pick up money on a side hustle. But you've got the threes, and the number 3 is completion on a physical level. It's a goddess number, as is the number 6, which you have positively aspected. The Three of Swords, and of course that's reversed. So the Three of Swords talks about moving from choppy waters to calmer waters. And because it's reversed, it tells me that we're doing all right. You were nice and calm, and probably like a lot of folks out there, the COVID hit, and suddenly it hits you in the pocketbook, and so there's that uncertainty there. The Six of Cups even though it's reversed, it's also positively aspected. So when I see that, usually with the Six of Cups, it talks about money dribbling out, which is what you've got right now. When it's reversed, it tells me that the money's there's some opening up and the money is coming down. So look for the pockets to get a little deeper around work. So do what you can to get some more hours. It looks like there's going to be a way for you to earn more money there. Productive money, which is the best kind.
Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Chris. Bianca. Bianca wants to know if there's any spirit messages for her.
Oh, I wish I had my Rudrashka seed. Rudrashka seed's always good for spirit messages. But we'll see what my old friends, the tarot cards, have to say for you. I like that. That's a good question. Spirit messages for Bianca. Okay, first off, you've got the Nine of Swords reversed, and you can see by the picture that my Nine of Swords has a coffin in it. So, you know, and I know what you're looking for, spirit messages from those who have passed. And so this right here tells me that you have been waiting to hear from them. I think that maybe you get an inkling. I think you might have a little bit of the mediumship yourself. So there's somebody who's passed that hasn't quite broken through yet. Be patient. Give them time, Bianca. They will contact you. You know that. This tells me that whoever you're worried about on a spiritual level, you have the Judgment here, and even though it's negatively aspected, it's still positive, because it talks about it talks about, you know, passing through in a positive way. You know, we're all judged a little, you know, when we pass, or so it says, and this says that you're judged. You know, that your life's tasks are judged positively. And there is an angel watching over you even when you feel a little bit negative. And the most positive thing is a community. So message from spirit for you, Bianca, would be to remember that life isn't just about one, it's about many. And you accomplish the most things in your life when you bring together community, like in the Four of Wands. And this says that there's an angel watching over you, and you know it, but you don't always listen to your angel. Okay, so that's the message from Spirit for Bianca. Thank you for asking, and thank you for tuning in.
Hello, Tanya and Suzanne. Hi, Ivory.
Okay, so
Haunting Live wants to know. Haunting Live wants to know whether we'll be getting a new car this week. Sorry, folks, I broke my glasses today, and I'm way overdue for an eye exam.
Okay, so if you'll get a new car, okay, a new car for Chris. Well, it's Haunting Life, so it's Chris and Trevor. But are we going to get a new car? Okay, a new car. I almost feel like I should throw runes on that. But okay, so you've got the Two of Swords, but the Two of Swords reversed. And the Two of Swords usually talks about being separated from something or not being able to negotiate an agreement. But when you have it reversed, it means that the blockages fall away. So this tells me that if not this week, next week, because you've got that timing of 2 weeks there. Yeah, negatively aspected is the Nine of Wands, and there's a little bit of defensiveness about that. I don't know what the hang-up is there. You know, I think that maybe you want more for your trade-in than you'll actually get, because it just seems like there's a little bit of stubbornness there that's negatively aspected that's holding it up. But positively aspected, Okay. I like to see that, especially since you got 9, 10, because the 10 of Wands is about burdens, but when you reverse it, it talks about burdens released. So whoever's being stubborn about stuff is going to let it go and quit being stubborn and move forward. So yes, you will find a new car from 9 days to 2 weeks.
Suzanne would like a general reading for Ernie and herself.
Okay. And may I say you're looking lovely today, Suzanne? Okay, so we're going to do the runes, if that's okay. I am really enjoying these runes, folks. And it's so the original way they used to do it is just reach in and toss a bunch out when it was just pebbles in a pouch on the battlefield. So it just feels like you're getting back to the original way they were cast. Okay, so how are things going for you and Ernie? Basically, when you get this, it talks about two-way success. You know, and you're talking about you and your dad. So this is going to be mostly a family reading, but it talks about the two of you working well together to move things forward. I already know that you're both working with, dealing with family issues, and that it's almost like you two are the top of the pyramid right now. And so when you're both on the same page, everybody else has to kind of fall in line. And this is what happens, because then you have Rytho, which is wagon, which talks about moving things forward. So I do see that the two of you working together move things forward, and then you have Gebu, which is serendipity, and that tells me that the two of you together are able to move things forward and bring some peace and serendipity to the family, which I know is. It is kind of needed. There's a little too much drama, and I don't think that's a good thing. Now we're going to look at the ones that are reversed, but the ones that are reversed are basically like adjectives. This is a noun. This is a basic gist of the reading, Suzanne. Oh, nice. Okay, on either side of you, it does talk about, you have Suelu, which is the sun, but that talks about a period of brightness and enlightenment and understanding. And I think that this period of your life, your relationship with Ernie is going through some evolution. That the two of you are starting to see more eye to eye. So even though he's your dad, you're starting to have a more adult relationship with him, and more of a friendship relationship. You love each other, but you're really starting to like each other a lot. And I like to see that you work very well together, and you need to, because there's also this idea on the other side of it. You have Thagos, and Thagos is change. So it talks about, it says that life can change on a dime. And when you're looking at the changes that are coming forward that you and Ernie need to work together toward. Okay, so what you have is you have Legus, which is lake, and that's love. It's all the good emotional flowy things. So the two of you working together can bring peace and harmony to your entire family, which especially the two of you want the most. Because you also have Iwas, which is kind of, it's the rune of the hunter, and so that tells me that you will find the peace and harmony within the family. You guys together will establish things peaceably. Didn't Ernie have some health problems coming up? It just feels like when I look at him in particular, the feeling that I get is that he's sort of doing some things now that he probably should have started doing a year ago, but he is going to start noticing some changes and some improvements in how he feels on a day-to-day basis. Maybe he changed his diet or something, cut down on the salt. Good on him. And then the way each of you are headed. Family is favorably aspected, so look for look for the family to draw together and get tighter. I know that there's been some disharmony there. That's going to clear up, and that's basically thanks to you and Ernie setting the example and setting the tone. Also, and this is about you in particular, this year coming up is a good year for contracts for you. So if you're going to renegotiate your job, your mortgage, basically anything that comes with a contract. So you got job, mortgage, and 401k. So all of those, this is a good time to kind of read the fine print and adjust it however you want to adjust it, because contracts are good for you this year. Okay, good on you, Suzanne.
Sally, you have to hold up the runes. They're just blank tiles on the camera.
Oh, I am so sorry. So we'll start out.
Well, no, let's do it for the next reading.
Okay, for the next reading, I'll hold them up. I'm sorry you didn't get to see them.
Ivory wants to know whether a C-section or emergency surgery is in the future.
Okay. Okay, Ivory.
My phone is buffering a lot.
Okay. Let's see if my phone does. So.
I wonder if there's something playing somewhere that we forgot to turn off.
I'll bet you that my laptop's tuned into to YouTube. Okay, so Ivory. Okay. You're going to have a big baby. And yeah, it looks like are you already overdue? It just feels so big and heavy and kind of like it's not happening. Okay, I wouldn't say, none of these cards are kind of surgery cards. Because what I'm getting is that this feeling, first off, you've got the Nine of Wands reversed, but the 9 months, and there's this idea with the Nine of Wands of blockages and things being held up. And I really feel like you've got a big baby in there. The Page of Cups is reversed, and that's on the negative, and that kind of says that it's almost like the baby doesn't want to come out, But when I look at what's positive, wait another 4 days and it will happen. But boy, you've got a big baby coming there. And I just say that because I'm not seeing any swords, which would tell me about surgeries and that. I'm seeing wands, and wands, they're fiery, but they're also about initiation and initiative, motivation, stuff like that. Basically, they say, yeah, you're going to have to do the work. So either you're going to have to do the work, but you're going to have a big, very sanguine baby. And thank you for asking.
Suzanne lost jewelry. Special jewelry. And a special award. Will she find them?
Yes.
All right, there we go.
Well, I just get the feeling that it's kind of like under something, but under the corner, like maybe a nightstand or some sort of an end table or something. It's something where it's kind of tucked. Even if you looked under it, you wouldn't see it because it's tucked in the corner. But you'll find it when you're doing your spring cleaning and moving out the furniture. Okay, so.
Okay. That's that is all the questions we have at the moment.
Oh, good. I get to talk, don't I? I love to talk. And I wanted to say a little bit more about the Ghost of the Queens event. It was a big hit, and so we haven't worked out all the details yet, but it's probably going to be very similar to the same format that we had before, where on Friday night we have a nice dinner with everybody and followed by speeches, and question and answers. And then we all get together for a pajama party where we all get into our pajamas and we do readings. Well, the two of us do readings anyway, and you all get readings. And then on Saturday we did workshops, so we'll probably do that again. And Saturday night do the walkthrough, and of course the seance. Anyhow, we will have more details and dates. But if anybody wants to reserve a spot, just send an email to thequeenofoogaboga@gmail.com. And also remember, send in your palms. I would like to do some palm readings. And speaking of readings, I am going to put up some videos this week. You know, I've been doing the This Week in Donald Trump, and I haven't done any in a while because, to be real honest, folks, after the election, I was so over him. I just had to take a break for a while because it basically, you know, all the time he's fighting the election, it just doesn't make any difference.
Hi, Kelly.
But now we can move beyond the loudness and the noise that was around the election and see other things. So I am going to start looking at, you know, the Supreme Court, the Lincoln Project, and of course Trump and the Trump kids. Anyhow, we have a reading.
Yes, Kelly would like to know about a journey to Northern Ontario before the end of November.
Oh my goodness, that sounds really cold actually. But, you know, some people like the cold. Are you going skiing, snowmobiling? Okay, trip for Kelly. You know what? Let's do the runes. Just feels like this is a rune kind of thing.
All right.
Well, you know, they found runes in Northern Ontario. They really think the Vikings brought those over too. Okay, Northern Ontario for Kelly, and here we go. Okay, so this one says you don't always see everything that's coming. So
hold them up.
Okay, so this is Pertho. Am I holding in the right place?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Pertho, and it translates to mean it translates dice. It means dice cup, but translates into meaning the unknown. So it tells you that there's unknown factors. Even though there's ones here that makes me feel like it's a go, but it's a difficult journey, and the ice is going to be an obstacle. You have Isa, which is the rune of the present, and it also means ice. And in this case, you're going up to Northern Ontario. You might have an ice storm or something like that slows you up a bit. And you also have Manez. And Manez is sometimes called the hug rune, but it talks about two people working together. So this is not a trip that you will, when you take this trip, you will not take it alone. There's somebody there, and it feels like it works out for both of you in a good way. You've got Tiwaz, which it's associated with the Norse god of truth and justice. So it does tell me that after some delays and after some problem with the weather and maybe getting a tag along, another tag along on the trip, that you do go forward. And it does feel like, it almost feels like the plans are delayed, but you still move forward with it. And the last rune, well, the last upward rune is Thorazaz. And Thorazaz is, it's translated to mean thorn, but it's associated with Thor's hammer. And it talks about things getting out of hand, but the idea there is that you don't want to handle everything yourself. I think that you might be dealing with some politics when you're up there. And it's just like whatever situations come up, make sure you don't do it alone. You know, this is time when you need to be a team player. And just like I said, that you're not seeing everything there, I think these ones that are reversed are talking about the time that you're up in Northern Ontario. You got Jera again, which means harvest. So on the face of it, you do accomplish what you want to accomplish. I like to see that. You've got Gebu, which means gift, and serendipity. So it looks like you're going to get more than you bargained for in this trip. In a good way. This is a really good rune. Okay. Suelu, sun. So even though the weather isn't too nice for you, doesn't cooperate with you right in the beginning, it will cooperate with you when you're up there. And Legus, which is lake and love. There's so much here about two people together, and there's just like really sunny, happy cards here, and actually runes. I mean, and actually kind of warm for being up north. You going to see a boyfriend or something? Anyhow, yes, you will be able to go up to Northern Ontario. Thank you, Kelly.
Tanya, we do general readings, but that's what the palm readings are for, because it gives Sally more time to do more of an in-depth reading that would allow for us right here, right now. The email address is on the screen. All you have to do is take a picture of each palm, keep the palms relaxed, make sure we see the entire hand, and that's it.
And when I get enough palms, I will do a video, and each and every one of you will get an email to let you know that your video is up.
Well, hi, Love Peace. Do you have a question for the Queen?
I love peace.
You're welcome, Kelly. So, no questions as of yet.
Oh, okay. No questions. Well, so I wanted to talk a little bit about these runes on two levels. First off, I'm still, I'm kind of dragging my feet on getting the book in the bags.
Oh, we got a question now.
Oh, yes.
Love Peace wants to know whether the X will reunite. The X and Love Peace back together.
Love peace, you know what I think about that reuniting thing.
Well, the training on that one is hate, right? Love, peace, and hate?
Yes. Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Excuse me, folks. I must pick up a card. See what came flying out of the deck.
Hi, Lindell.
Lindell. Hello, darling. You're looking beautiful. Oh. And, that fell out with some fury there. Put my crown back on. Love, peace. The card that fell out is the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is about delusions and illusions. I get the feeling, I'm going to do a reading for you. I am. But I really get the feeling, just based on this one card, that even though you could get the X back, no problem, all the same problems will come back, and probably with a vengeance. Plus that, if you take him back, he will never believe that you will leave, and that's how you get crazy boyfriends, crazy ex-boyfriends. So. Love, peace, and her ex. And I'm going to put my own opinion on hold.
No, not now, Tanya. Just email them to us. And they will record them and put them up online.
Okay, so I can see right off the hop, they're kind of reminding me that there's family bonds between the two of you. I think maybe you share a child, you share something very important here that kind of keeps you connected. What's negative about that? What's negative about that is that that's not going to change, and you really have to consider the passion and basically the optics to the page, because the page can be a child, and it shows me the Empress, which is a pregnant lady. It shows me the child, so I really believe that if there's not a child between the two of you, there will be if you get back together with this person. And that might not be a good thing, because I get a feeling that the child sees too much as it is. And then what's positive about the situation? Yeah, there's that. There's that. Okay, darling, you can have him. And I know you love him. But you're always going to have the same problems with him. And if you take him back, you'll never, ever get rid of him. So get your strategy and figure out a way to handle whatever difficulties there are there better than you did the last time, because it's going to be the same situation. But like I said, they say you love him, and you love him, and you seem to have a certain amount of sway over him. So he will listen to you. Yeah, okay. It's kind of like he's flawed, but he's mine. But yes, you can have him back if you want him.
You're welcome, love piece. Tanya wants to know about finances. Miss Lynn wants a love reading. El Tigre wants to know about a job.
Okay, let's start with Tanya. Tanya, finances. And I know I have to move faster, folks. I spend too much time and I'm too gabby, but that's just because I like y'all. All right, finances. You got the Five of Swords, but the Five of Swords reversed, which means that, one of the things that worked against you in the past is maybe a bad attitude toward money, or an improper attitude toward money. I don't know whether it's really a bad attitude, but the wrong attitude. I really get the feeling that you're putting the negative feelings you have toward money aside, and that in and of itself will attract money. Yeah, and you got the Page of Cups, but this, I talked about attitude and that. It just says that in the past you may have had maybe a bit of, when I say a childish, maybe you've been too into instant gratification in the past, and I think that's giving way to more conservative views, which money likes conservative views. Yes, you've got the Four of Swords, but it's reversed. Your swords are reversed, which means that the trouble and the worries are falling away. And when you let the troubles and the worries, especially the worries, fall away and just be a little bit more conservative, then money does get better. So the answer to that is yes.
Is there a timeline?
Well, you got 4 5, so usually swords are weeks. But financial problems usually don't get solved in a matter of 4 or 5 weeks. But I think that in 4 or 5 weeks, you turn enough of a corner that you feel more confident about it. So that's when things start to get better. 4 to 5 weeks, not bad. And we have love.
Ms. Lynn wants a love reading.
Oh, Miss Lynn, love. Well. We'll keep with the tarot for the love. Love. Ooh, I was afraid I'd get that card. Oh. Miss Lynn.
What you got there?
The devil. And I worry about that, especially when you get it around love. Because sometimes for some reason, we just seem to attract people who are emotionally abusive, the guys that are emotionally abusive. And, it's kind of like they've just got a way of really charming us in the beginning. And, you accept one little lie, and then before you know it, you're literally living a lie. I don't think that has to be. Not anymore. Because it shows up dead center, but shows up as that's what kind of works against you in love. Yeah, you've got to be careful not to lose your balance. Let's see what this card is. Okay, good. All right. The one thing when these two cards came, they're major arcana cards. This one tells me that you can break patterns, and it tells me that you can gain your balance. You haven't yet. But there's this idea that you've got angels watching over you, and also the time is right for you to be on the path to something very good. The Ten of Cups is about a relationship that's built on a good foundation, a long-term relationship, one that stands the test of time, and that is on the path ahead of you. So that's the most positive thing with you love-wise. It's just right now in the short term, and don't waste too much time because the angels are watching over you, so it's easier. Right now is the time for you to break bad patterns and set yourself up for success, because success is coming your way.
All right. El Tigre wants to know about a job coming soon.
Okay.
Seems to be a theme this week.
Well, it hasn't been easy for any of us. The past year has just really kicked everybody's butt. Okay. And we're using the runes.
Hi, Eva.
Hi, Eva. Okay, so now I'm going to read it like here, from left to right. So we start out, and we have Ansus. And Ansus talks about, it literally translates ancestral God, but it tells us to look to the older generation for guidance. So you might want to chat up some of the old folks, because they know people, and that's just a good way to send out feelers, and it might be a path that you haven't looked at. And I'm getting a visual. When I was a kid and we used to go to church, there was always this fellowship afterwards where everybody would meet and have cookies and tea and just chit chat. And it just feels like that's the kind of situation where you need to be putting yourself in and chit chatting, because you can learn a lot by putting your ear to the ground. This one right here, right in the middle, is Rytho. And Rytho is wagon. And when you've got the wagon, you got wheels underneath you, you're moving forward fast. So it does show a fast forward motion. So look for, you are going to get some leads coming your way to follow through on. And then, and I like to get this one is the Rune of the Hunter. It's Iwaz. And Iwaz tells me that you will find what you are looking for, which, i.e., you're looking for a job. We're going to look at some of the descriptors. You definitely, this is mana, so that's two-way success, and that kind of reminds me that, some of the older people, they just like to be the one to give you the right job, leads in that, so it's kind of a win-win situation there. Pertho, what am I saying? Wunjo, which is success, joy, so a good job lead is coming your way. Through family. That's Ingus. That's kin. So good job lead is coming your way through family. You've got Isa, but Isa is right next to Iwaz. So that tells me that you will find what you are looking for in a time of ice. And I've got to say, we've got a time of ice coming here. So that's like, once the snow is on the ground, you'll have a job. Yeah, and this is Tiwaz, which is associated with truth, justice, and all things contractual. So yes, you do have a job offer coming your way, and it's something that has a contract with it. Thank you for watching. Okay, who do we have next, darling?
Ox wants to know whether the next lay will be a new one. He didn't say it like that, but that's what I'm boiling it down to.
Okay, ask me politely. That's 1, by the way.
I'm pretty sure that's 1, 2, and 3 altogether.
I am so sorry, but we have to allow him that. So, what's the question actually?
Will the next woman I get physically / romantically involved with be someone new?
Ah, okay. Yeah, I gotta.
Hi, Marcy. Ava, we were late for the same reason. We have some really bad winds out there.
Yeah, it brought a transformer down. Brought a transformer down with a branch and started a little fire in the middle of the street. Okay, so we were looking at
Ox's love life.
Strange.
Strange.
Okay, so got the 9 of Wands. Got the 9 of Wands, and the 9 of Wands is about defensiveness. It's kind of about standing in the same spot and not accomplishing anything. But you've got it reversed, which tells me that some of the barricades are going to drop down. But there's also this reminder here that once the obstacles in your way drop away, which means that whoever you're kind of involved with right now is still too close. But once the obstacles drop away, then you are in the situation where you're back to square one. So if you want someone new, you're going to have to do the work too. Okay, negatively aspected is the 8 of Coins. And the 8 of Coins, it's about skill. You know, basically it's about trying. You know, golly, I hate to be critical, but the cards are being a little critical. They're saying, you know, if you want to move ahead and get somebody new, you know, you've got to break up completely with the old one, if you will, and not just keep her on a shelf just because she tolerates you showing up erratically and ghosting her. You know, you've got to get rid of her completely. And you've got to break it off, and you've got to break it off cleanly to clear the slate for something new to come your way. And positively aspected, you've got the 3 of Swords. And so what the 3 of Swords tells me, and it's reversed, again, it's reversed, but sword card reversed basically talks about sorrows falling away and a new day coming. And I do see that as well. So yeah. If you don't get rid of her, she's going to get rid of you. So yeah, your next one is going to be somebody new. Okay, and thank you for asking. Thank you for watching. And tune in every Sunday night at 9.
Sonia's daughter has a question about Justin Bieber.
Oh, Justin, yes.
Will he reunite with his puppy love, Selena? And they call it Puppy love.
Dude. Okay, but no, I'm going to look at that because, you know, she's not the only one that's asked about that. And then I know that they had like a real, I'd say it's almost toxic. That relationship reminded me of the relationship between Sean Penn and Madonna, which a lot of you younger people aren't going to remember. But they seem to bring out the worst in Justin. So, let's see. Justin Bieber. Justin and Selena.
I get the feeling they're all going to be upside down.
Yeah, I think so too, because you got the 8 of Wands, which is reversed, which means there's no forward motion here. I think that over the years, when she's single, he's going to be committed, which is true right now. And if you were to look up the road, because he'll be with Haley for quite some time. I see them having 2 rather beautiful children and some happy years. You know, not not 20 or 30, but they will have some happy years. But it's just like when he's single, she's taken. When she's taken, he's single. It's vice versa. So everything's working against them being together. Negatively aspected, you have the Emperor, and that falls back on what I said before. It brings out the worst of in him, and he kind of knows that. I think that in his heart of hearts, he's got there's a hook in his heart for her, and that will always be there. He'll always have feelings for her. There's passion there, but he also knows how destructive that is for her. She's more destructive to him than smoking. And that's his own chemicals and stuff inside his head working. Well, you called that one right. All three of them upside down. Yeah, it's actually fortunate for both of them that they don't get back together. And I think that they both have. Let's look at them separately, okay, instead of as a couple, because the cards really didn't like seeing that. Okay, so first off, let's look at what's up for Miss Gomez. I know she's got a new movie coming out, doesn't she? There's something new coming up with her. Okay, so you have the Eight of Cups, but it's the Eight of Cups reversed. And usually if it's right side up, the Eight of Cups is talking about turning your back on the material to feed your heart. So, of course, you reverse it. This says that Miss Gomez right now is working to make a brand for herself. She's really got her mind right on business. Oh, really? Negatively aspected for her is pregnancy. And I know I kind of chuckled because she's young, she's pretty, and I really think that she's going to have a surprise pregnancy. And it's not going to happen at a good time. It might happen when she's in the middle of shooting a movie or whatever. It's like time is all wrong on this. Positively aspected, you have the Ten of Swords, but it's the Ten of Swords reversed. And like I said before, when swords are reversed, it's kind of like the pain and sorrow, falling away. And I know that Miss Gomez has had a lot of issues, and she's had a lot of gossip and nasty things said about her. And it just looks like she is rising above all that. I like the person that I see her becoming. I have to chuckle when I see that she's going to have a little one, an unplanned little one, because she might be surprised that motherhood works out very well for her. So let's see how things are for Justin, our hometown hero. We love Justin in Stratford.
Suzanne wants to know whether you've ever met him.
I think I may have met him when he was very, very young, but not as an adult, or not after he did the YouTube video on the stairs. This was a long, long time ago. I'm not even sure it was him. But I met a very unique 6 or 7 year old at one point in time, and he had he was unique because he had an ease with adults, even though he was just 6 or 7. He was like a 35-year-old, and I saw fame around him, and that may have been Justin, but maybe not. So maybe I've met him. I don't know. Anyhow, we were looking at Justin Bieber's path. And again, it's interesting because he gets the same card positively aspected as Miss Gomez. And that's that Ten of Swords. Falling, the sorrow falling out, rising above gossip, rising above all the negativity. So both of them are doing that. And you've got the Two of Cups reversed. So you know, the marriage that he's in, I know it's not going to last. But right now, in the here and now, they're very, very sweet. And I think they might have, you know, anywhere from, they might even have 10 years in this relationship, because they are going to have two very beautiful girls. The path that he's on right now, he has put his wild boy days behind him. And when I look at going forward, like right now, he's wondering if he's done everything that he will ever do, kind of thing. It's like, okay, so I've acted, I've produced, I've done this, I've done that. But it looks like when you look around the corner, there's one more opportunity, one more thing to do that he hasn't done. And this feels, it's got a real video movie kind of thing. So he might even have his own, he might even have a TV series or something coming up. Or a multi-part documentary, just because I really see the TV screen there. And then up ahead, you know, at the end of the path, you've got a ring, and that's his marriage. He's got, you know, he's got many, not a lifetime, but he's got a number of happy years with with Haley Baldwin, and I wish them the best of luck, and maybe it can be forever. Who knows? They're very, very sweet right now. Thank you for asking. I know I've talked too long. What's the next question, darling?
I don't know yet.
Okay, so, you know, I think it's time for us to look at This Week in Ontario.
I did see Justin Bieber once at Shoppers Drug Mart.
That's right.
I dropped off a prescription, and he was picking one up. And once I realized who I was looking at, I started laughing out so loud that the pharmacy assistant that was dealing with me had a hard time from laughing. I realized immediately why the little girls all love him. He has the body of one.
That's 2.
No, I'm pretty sure that's 4 and 5.
He wants to be controversial. Okay, so let's look at this week.
Maybe somebody will yell at the TV because of me. If I can raise somebody's blood pressure.
This Week in Ontario. I love you. Okay, so. See the overall theme this week? Ooh. So the focus this week is about money. And one side says we're bleeding money, and the other side says, no, we're still going to do these programs. So there's big debate there, but the one that wants to do the programs wins. So, yeah, there's more financial support either coming or being extended to people in Ontario, but there is a political cost associated with that. Yeah, a lot about money this week, a lot of worry about the debt and just how big this, you know, what the long-term consequences are going to be for the Ontario government pouring all this money here, which of course is silly, because if you put money in the pockets of the people spend it, pay taxes, and that's how, you know, that's how the government makes their money, is from taxes. Okay, so the near past is the world reversed, and so, you know, when I look at that, it is kind of telling me that the world's turned upside down for us, and, you know, it still feels so raw and so uncertain. So Ontario, Canada in general, is reluctant to make big future plans because we're just not 100% sure what's going to happen in the near future. Okay, again, you've got the Queen of Coins, but the Queen of Coins reversed, and Okay, so when I look at this, I get a feeling that this is the educational system. You know, after we've gotten everything sorted out, then it's like, well, what about the kids? What about the schools? So schools are going to need a cash infusion too. So our own feelings and how the rest of the world sees us and how we see each other. First off, you've got the death card, which the death card isn't necessarily a bad thing, but sometimes it's not a good thing either. It does say that we really feel like we've gone with the flow, we've made the changes, we've done the things that are expected of us. There's a lot of concern because of the death toll going up. I do believe when I see the Two of Cups, and the cups are drawn to me, that we are going to have more closures this week. There's going to be more bar closures in some of the orange zones, and it will continue on in Toronto. I'm sorry, everybody. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, a lot of reverse cards this week for Ontario. So there's a lot of planning, but there's offset rewards here. When I look at the Knight of Cups, I see that as being Doug Ford. This is going to be a rough week for him, probably because he does have to do more closures, and he just doesn't like the way things are turning around. I want to do a couple of confirmation cards, but as far as the problem that we have with COVID, it's not going to get better this week. I don't think, it's just not going to get better this week, and that concerns me. Okay, good. So, first off, we get the Eight of Wands reversed, and that just echoes what I just said. It's just we're not getting past this fast enough. We all want to get past it. Even 6 weeks isn't, even 8 weeks isn't fast enough. And I do see that by the time we get to the end of the year, I see that in the Lovers, that when it gets better fast. But we will have the border to the United States open by St. Valentine's Day, but I don't think it's going to be before that. I really think that's what the Lovers are telling me, is showing me St. Valentine's Day. So hang in there, everybody. The government is going to continue to prop us up and help us through this time, as they should. And they're going to debate it, which they're probably supposed to do that too. Anyhow, thank you everybody for tuning in. Are there any last minute questions before we go?
No, there are not.
No, there are not. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Tune in next week at 9 o'clock for another episode of Psychic Sundays Live, and look for some new videos. We will be shooting some on the aftermath of Trump, the Trump children, the Supreme Court, and the Lincoln Project. I don't think we're looking hard enough at those guys. Anyhow, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you again. Have a good week.